Hello and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel, and welcome to today's video update. We're going to talk about 3 altcoins that you guys commented about on my Twitter. I recently posted a tweet where I was just taking a few technical analysis requests, and we're going to be talking about some of the requests that you guys mentioned the most. And those are Cardano, Chainlink, and SXP. So let's dive into the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more videos like this in the future. Let's dive right into it. Cardano. Interesting situation here on Cardano. We have a downtrending resistance dating back to 2018, early 2018 essentially, but there are a few ways you could jot down this trend line, and I've just plotted 2 ways. Of course, one of these ways, this one in particular, accounts for the outlier behavior that we tend to see at around these price levels. So this is the FOMO. This is the enthusiasm, over enthusiasm in fact. This is the over exuberance that market participants tend to feel at around these price levels. Of course, the first time round you saw this overextension go much higher, but this FOMO, though still present, is being lesser and lesser over time. You can see this in the wicks, but also in the rallies, the candle bodies themselves. This sort of overexuberance is getting weaker over time and a little bit more shallow. But in any case, that's what this downtrending resistance essentially signifies to us. But let's have a look at this historical order block, this supply area. Over here, we had an inverse head and shoulders. Here's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, which translated into a nice rally towards the upside. But these 2 shoulders essentially created a order block where we tend to see a lot of historically transacted volume from buyers and sellers exchanging Cardano, and what was previously a support when this shoulder was actually formulating back in the day now is a resistance, and that's probably going to be the case going forward. So what we have to also bear in mind is that this black level is a support level. Nice rebound from here, rallying towards that downtrending resistance, and we've rebounded from here essentially once again. So as long as this level continues to be a nice support, then we can actually rally towards this red region. But we have to be open to the fact that we might see even a pullback into a higher low, into the support area once again, because we have to also have a look at this fractal. And before you guys judge this fractal as something you might have seen at the end of your notebook whenever you leave your backpack unattended in a high school corridor, just notice that this fractal is essentially, it's not a head and shoulders. It's not a head and shoulders, but if that sort of analogy helps you understand what that could potentially entail for price, that's all well and good, because over here, if we really do break down and rally, or at least pull back into the support area and not hold here, then we're going to see a repeat of this situation, right? Because here we saw support and then a breakdown to lower price levels, and if we kind of hold here, then we'll see the same thing, essentially speaking. But we also have to bear in mind that this portion of price action could rally towards the red area and mimic this portion of price action in the form of wicks into this historical supply area. So that's one of the few scenarios I'm watching for. I'd like to see this support continue to hold, and of course this is going to be an area where a lot of sellers are going to be offloading their Cardano. So of course this is going to be a strong resistance area, lots of historically transacted volume at around this region, and even if we break past this area, then that would be great to just think about this downtrending resistance. But I feel that we're going to see a lot of overextension, or at least exhaustion in the buyers at around this region. So that's going to be a topic for another day. Let's see how Cardano moves on going forward. So I'm excited to see what Cardano has in store for us, but I'm also excited for my newsletter, which I'm going to be releasing in 2 weeks' time. And this newsletter is going to be a celebration of what Rekt Capital stands for. It's going to be market analysis, cutting-edge research, private technical analysis sessions, and lots of educational posts about risk management, technical analysis, and psychology, as well as data science, all for an early bird discount of less than 50 cents per newsletter. That's $5 a month. So click in the link in the description down below to subscribe today and make the most of that early bird discount. And having said that, let's dive into SXP, one of the coins that we don't have much price history to work with, but we have a very clear view as to what can happen. So very strong resistance area, historical supply area, lots of historically transacted volume right over here. You can see that in the high value node. This is essentially a lot of historically transacted volume, lots of sell side pressure at this point in price. Lots of sell side momentum will be generated once we reach that area. If we can't pierce that cloud of sell orders, essentially, because that's going to be weighing down on price. And you're seeing that this is weighing down on price already, but we're not quite breaking down. In fact, we might be consolidating in what is essentially a infant flagging structure. And this flagging structure, we have to bear in mind, is within a volume gap. So you don't see a lot of nodes here. And this volume gap, essentially speaking, doesn't contain many orders, which is why we're seeing some price strength confirmation, some stability here. So we're not seeing a lot of buy support, we're not seeing a lot of sell side price action. So naturally within a volume gap, you're going to see this consolidation because you see a lot of buy orders here, right? And you see a lot of sell orders here. So within a volume gap, naturally, if you have pressure from here and you have pressure from here, then you're going to end up essentially with a sandwich price action. So you're seeing price compression within this flagging structure, within this early stage flagging structure. So it's natural to see this predicament for SXP, and essentially speaking, we just have to watch out for how this flagging structure will resolve. A breakout, a confirmed breakout past this area. We're going to revisit this red order block and a breakdown, and we're going to revisit this area. So that's all about where we're having the strength. And this has been a great rally. And you can see that there is a lot of sell side pressure here, more sell side pressure here than buy side pressure over here, right? So you can see how even though we're seeing price compression from both sides, this buy support is much smaller than this sell side price action. So that's something to bear in mind, which is why I'd only trade this on confirmation, because of course flagging structures are bullish patterns, but you have to look at the finer details of these analytics to be able to deduce where the price action might develop. So trading on confirmation only. But in any case, if we actually break past this area, then that could really translate into some cool upsides, some wonderful returns, as long as we don't see wicks past this area. In any case, guys, these are the sort of TA requests, these in-depth insights and detailed analysis that I'm going to be offering to subscribers of the newsletter on a regular basis, once a week. And I'm going to be looking at a variety of different coins. In this video, I'm going to be looking at only 3, but I'm going to look at more in these TA request sessions for subscribers of the newsletter. So check out the link in the description down below. If you'd like to become a subscriber, feel free to make the most of the early bird discount of less than 50 cents per newsletter. And that's just fantastic value, a unique perspective for incredible value. That's my goal. So check out the link in the description to subscribe today. And I'd like to showcase a different analysis to you guys. So this is the weekly time frame. This parabola for Chainlink is still intact, and this is something I spoke to you guys about in a previous video, so check that video out in the top right hand corner. But in any case, this parabolic advance for Chainlink is still very much intact. So this move isn't over, even though we've seen a strong retrace since the peak of $20, or at least the analogous price to $20 in USD terms. So in any case, the parabola is still intact. But what I also want to mention to you guys is that these are essentially Bollinger Bands. These Bollinger Bands are a great indicator of volatility. So you can see that whenever price creeps past the upside of the Bollinger Band, you can see that it's peaking out from there. You're going to see a retrace back in there. The Bollinger Bands essentially want price to stay within those bands. So every time you've seen a peak past this Bollinger Band, you can see that the bands just grab price back in there. Same thing over here. So that's something to bear in mind going forward. But at the same time, this Bollinger Band can act as a resistance. So this is a resistance that is resisting price, pulling price back in here, and this is the middle of the Bollinger Band. This is essentially the 20 MA, if I remember correctly. It's one of those MAs, the moving average is 20 or so. You can of course adjust this. I think this is 20 in my particular case, but this is going to figure as a support. And you can see that this is a support region in of itself. So this middle of the Bollinger Band, which can figure as a support, is confluent with this support area right over here, the blue line. But if we zoom in, we also have a bit of confluence in the form of the 200 exponential moving average, an important indicator and gauge of long-term investor sentiment. And in fact, on this occasion, you can see that we're finding support at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And in fact, the middle of the Bollinger Band on the daily time frame is a resistance. So interesting to see how multiple different time frames are giving you some insight as to how to use the Bollinger Bands, and also how to use a variety of indicators to showcase a confluent area of support. So at the moment, you're seeing a bit of distribution from a consolidation period just below this middle of the Bollinger Band, and we're probably going to see some downside going forward. But essentially speaking, this is going to be a strong support area, because this is a strong support area for price action on the weekly time frame. If we just zoom back in here, this is a support area right over here. This is going to be strong because we have a confluence in the middle of the Bollinger Band. Roughly speaking, a confluence between the bottom of the band on the daily time frame and a confluence of the exponential moving average, the 200 EMA, long-term gauge of investor sentiment. Lots of support over here. So if we can't really clear this area, and in fact we're looking like we might be distributing from here a little bit, a pullback into this area, perhaps even a higher low relative to this area, that would be fantastic, because a lot of buyers are quite interested there. This is what the technical indicators are suggesting to us. But having said that, that's about it for today's video update. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like, and of course subscribing to the channel for more videos like this in the future. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak soon.